Welcome back, everyone, and thank you for joining me today. I'm really excited to have you here because in this video, we're diving deep into a coin that almost everyone has seen, almost everyone has spent, and almost everyone has overlooked, yet it carries a story so surprising that it completely changes how we think about everyday money. Today, we're talking about the Liberty 1 cent 2060 USA coin, a single penny that on the surface looks ordinary, but under the right circumstances, with the right combination of errors, mistakes, mint mark anomalies, and rare production possibilities, has been associated with values reaching as high as $908.5 million. That number alone sounds unbelievable, and that's exactly why this story matters, because it proves that even the smallest coin in your pocket can hold extraordinary potential when history, human error, and rarity collide. The Liberty 1 cent has always been more than just a unit of currency. It represents American history, values, and continuity. By 2006, the Lincoln cent design had already been in circulation for nearly a century, evolving through metals, minting techniques, and subtle design changes. The 2060 penny, struck at the Denver Mint, was produced in massive numbers, intended to serve everyday commerce. Millions upon millions of these coins passed through hands without a second glance. But within those enormous production runs, the minting process itself opened the door to mistakes. And those mistakes are where true rarity begins to understand how a 1 cent coin could even be mentioned in the same sentence as a $900 million valuation. We need to understand how coins are made and how errors occur. Coin minting is a complex industrial process involving blank preparation, die creation, die installation, striking, inspection, and distribution. At every stage, something can go wrong. Most of the time, quality control catches problems, but occasionally an error slips through. When that error is dramatic, unique, and tied to a specific year and mint mark, it can become legendary. The 2060 Liberty 1 cent is especially interesting because of the transitional era it belongs to. This was a time when the U.S. Mint was refining modern minting technology while still dealing with the challenges of high-speed mass production. Denver, in particular, was striking enormous volumes of cents to meet nationwide demand. High-speed presses, worn dies, hurried die changes, and metal composition variations all increased the chance of mistakes. Most errors were minor and common, but some were extreme. And those extreme cases are what collectors dream about. One of the most important factors that can push a 2006 D penny into extraordinary territory is the presence of multiple errors on a single coin. A single error might make a penny worth a few dollars, a few $100s, or even a few thousand. But when multiple rare errors appear together on one coin, the value can increase exponentially. Imagine a coin that shows a dramatic off-center strike, combined with a double die obverse, paired with a wrong planchet, and finished with a mint mark anomaly. The odds of such a coin existing are incredibly small, and when something that rare surfaces, the numismatic world takes notice. Mint mark errors alone can be fascinating. The D-mint mark on a 2006 penny was punched into the die, not added individually to each coin. This means any problem with the mint mark on the die would be transferred to every coin struck by that die until it was replaced. Errors such as a repunched mint mark, a tilted mint mark, a doubled mint mark, or even a missing mint mark can occur. While some of these errors are relatively minor, extreme or previously undocumented variations can spark intense interest among collectors. A unique mint mark error, especially one that cannot be replicated or explained easily, can elevate a coin's status dramatically. Then there are die errors, which are among the most sought-after mistakes in coin collecting. A die crack, die break, or cud can create raised lines or blobs of metal on the finished coin. In most cases, these are minor and common, but when a die failure is massive, distorting large portions of the design, it becomes something special. A 2006 D penny struck with a severely damaged die might show Lincoln's portrait partially missing, distorted lettering, or unusual raised shapes that were never intended to exist. If such a die continued striking coins briefly before being replaced, only a handful of examples might exist, making them exceptionally rare. Double die errors are another major factor. These occur when the die itself is misaligned during the hubbing process, causing parts of the design to appear doubled. On a true double die, the doubling is part of the die, not the result of machine doubling or postmint damage. Strong, clear doubling on Lincoln's portrait, the date, or inscriptions like Liberty can dramatically increase a coin's value. If a previously unknown and extremely strong double-die variety were discovered on a 2006 D penny, especially one combined with other errors, it could rewrite price expectations overnight. Planchet errors are where things start to become truly extraordinary. A planchet is the blank piece of metal that is struck to create a coin. If the wrong metal is used, the result can be a coin struck on a planchet intended for another denomination or even another country. A 2006 D penny struck on a planchet meant for a dime, a foreign coin, or a test alloy would immediately be considered a major error. The weight, color, thickness, and sound of the coin would be different, and laboratory analysis would confirm its uniqueness. If such a coin were one of a kind, with clear documentation and expert verification, its value could reach astonishing levels. Even more extreme are transitional errors, which occur when old and new materials overlap during production changes. Although the major metal transitions for US cents occurred earlier, experimental alloys and test strikes have always existed behind the scenes. If a 2006 D penny were struck on an experimental or unauthorized planchet never meant to enter circulation, it would represent a piece of hidden mint history. Coins like that are not just collectibles. They are artifacts telling stories the mint never intended to tell publicly. Another factor that can push value into unimaginable territory is provenance. Provenance refers to the documented history of a coin, including who discovered it, where it was found, and how it has been authenticated. If a legendary error coin is discovered by chance, perhaps by someone sorting pocket change or searching rolls from a bank, that story adds to its mystique. When combined with official grading, expert analysis, and public auction exposure, provenance can transform a rare coin into a cultural phenomenon. Condition also plays a critical role. Error coins are often damaged or worn, but when a major error appears on a coin in exceptional condition, the value multiplies. A 2006 D penny with dramatic errors preserved in near-perfect mint-state condition would be almost unheard of. Sharp details, original luster, and minimal handling marks would make such a coin stand out even among other rare errors. Collectors are willing to pay enormous premiums for coins that combine rarity with beauty. Market psychology cannot be ignored either. The numismatic market is driven by collectors, investors, museums, and institutions. When a coin is believed to be unique or one of only a few known examples, competition intensifies. Wealthy collectors may be willing to spend extraordinary sums to secure a piece that no one else can own. In extreme cases, private sales can reach levels far beyond public auction records, especially when confidentiality and exclusivity are involved. The idea of a 2006 D Liberty 1 cent being valued at $908.5 million is not about the average penny. It is about the theoretical and documented possibility of a singular, unprecedented specimen that combines multiple extreme errors, perfect preservation, historical significance, and unmatched rarity. In the world of high-end collectibles, value is not determined by face value or even by typical price guides. It is determined by desire, scarcity, and narrative. This is why collectors are encouraged to look closely at their coins. Many legendary discoveries have been made by ordinary people who simply paid attention. A penny pulled from a roll, a jar, or a pocket has the potential to reveal something extraordinary under magnification. While the odds are incredibly small, they are not zero, and every major discovery begins with curiosity. The 2006 D penny is especially appealing because it is recent enough to still appear in circulation, yet old enough to have developed a history of known and unknown varieties. As time passes, fewer pristine examples remain, and undiscovered errors become even more significant. Coins that were once dismissed as oddities can later be recognized as major varieties when new research emerges. Another fascinating aspect is the role of third-party grading and authentication. A coin believed to be extraordinarily valuable must be examined by experts using advanced tools. Weight measurements, metal analysis, die study, and comparison with known varieties all play a role. Certification by respected grading services gives buyers confidence and establishes legitimacy.